Can you recall one explicit movie clip or image that is still ingrained in your memory? Something so terrible that you may have accidentally come across or in contact with that you will never forget? These images or memories unveil the innocence of children at such a young age as they are exposed to this material. That is because, as a result of this material, these images are unable to be forgotten what our eyes have seen and are forever ingrained in our memory. Children are losing their innocence at a young age because of the horrifying and explicit material they are being exposed to from media of all types. That is because media is now everywhere and so easily accessible. In the article, Main Findings, Teen Technology and Human Potential in 2020 explains nearly 20 million of the 200 million Twitter users follow 60 or more Twitter accounts and nearly 2 million follow 500 accounts. There are more than 800 people now signed up for the social network Facebook. They spend 7 billion minutes using Facebook each month, and they install more than 20 million apps every day. Facebook users have uploaded more than 100 billion photos by mid-2011. YouTube users upload 60 hours of video per minute, and they triggered more than 1 trillion plays in 2011, roughly 140 videos per person on Earth. Today, I would like to identify the problems associated with children losing their innocence due to media and present a course of action that will minimize its negative impact. This is a picture of a dad who obviously is not aware of that he's answering his own question. His child is playing violent games with Cop Killer, book right here, and he's wondering, why do kids learn to be so violent? Children are supposed to be naive and innocent, but kids are now losing it because of what they're becoming exposed to in early years of their life. The article, Overexposed and Underprepared, The Effects of Early Exposure to Sexual Content, states that today children are being sexualized earlier and earlier, in part because they are exposed to sexual material in movies, television, music, and other media earlier than ever. With widespread access to the internet, curious teens may accidentally or intentionally become exposed to millions of pages of material that is uncensored, sexually explicit, often inaccurate, and potentially harmful. Here you see a child that obviously has the freedom to watch what they want and is exposed to something scary. They have the freedom. This is a very scary issue, currently evolving as all forms of media become so much easier to access. Media is a big problem in robbing children of their innocence, but parents have a lot of contribution and limitations on how much time their child is consuming media. Children as young as 6 years old are becoming allowed to own or easily access their parents' iPhone or computers. And here you see a little kid on an iPad at maybe 3 years old. Children are just so easily given these accessories, and they can easily access any types of media and any types of internet. Giving this freedom to children without censoring or limiting their surfing browsing may link them to explicit content they accidentally come in contact with, ranging anywhere from violence, sexual content, vulgarity, and even drug-related information. Media has so many negative effects, for example, cyberbullying and stalking, that young children cannot understand and therefore could end in dangerous situations. This is definitely not a temporary issue because every day the media is becoming more and more accessible to younger and younger children. One way to decrease the severity of this issue is for parents to start limiting time children are allowed to the internet. By doing this, it gives a less risk that the children will be exposed to explicit content. The article, Get Informed, states that it's up to parents to set a good example of what healthy computer usage looks like. The issue is tremendously impacting the children today and even the current teens from not having sheltered and exposed life. The article, 6 Students Suspended for Inappropriate Conduct at a High School, talks about a 14-year-old girl that was committing sexual acts in the boys' bathroom, sometimes for $5 and other times for free, with multiple students per day. It also states counselors hope children can learn to recognize that type of behavior is not acceptable or okay, which is exactly why children should not learn about the ideas and contents like this, because they do not know any better and believe it is okay. Children have evolved over the years to what interests them, and since media is everywhere and so easily accessible, it is exactly what they are spending their extra time doing. According to the article, Overexposed and Underprepared, the effects of early exposure to sexual content, parents need to know what your children are watching, playing, and listening to, and taking advantage of teachable moments to discuss any appropriate content or behaviors with them. Here you see parents watching movie or TV with their children. According to the article, Overexposed and Underprepared, the effects of early exposure to sexual content, parents need to know what your children are watching, playing, and listening to, and taking advantage of teachable moments to discuss any appropriate content or behaviors with them. There are several steps or procedures that parents can do to help decrease the risk of their own child being exposed to this explicit and scarring content that they are getting their hands on from all angles of media. Parents can watch television as a family more, limit their child's freedom to surf the browser without supervision, or even put limits on the computer to what the children can and cannot access. America as a whole needs to become more aware of what children are learning and being exposed to so we can prevent them from participating and learning mature content before they're emotionally and maturely ready for it. So don't let the media spoon feed your children mature content before they're ready.